The epidemic of left-wing violence and Antifa-inspired terror has been escalating for nearly a decade. At universities, Antifa has organized riotous mobs to attack campus speakers. I see it all the time. And these are agitators, anarchists, and they're paid. And you'll find that out. You'll be finding it out very soon. You should see what we have on these people. These are bad people. These are people that want to destroy our country. We're not going to let it happen. They've used armed gangs to assault local police in cities nationwide, and they've attacked journalists reporting on their crimes. So the journalists that report on their crimes, don't worry, you're very safe. I hope that's not going to turn you around, but they have been very threatening to people, but we're going to be very threatening to them, far more threatening to them than they ever were with us, and that includes the people that fund them.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for hosting today and focusing on Antifa and the terrorists that they are. Let's not make any mistake. These individuals do not just want to threaten our law enforcement officers, threaten our journalists, and the citizens of this country. They want to kill them. Their agenda is to destroy the American people and our way of life, and this president is standing in their way. He is stopping them from bringing their death and their destruction to the individual citizens in this country that just want to raise their kids and their grandkids in peace and in safety. I want to also thank everyone around this table for being so bold and so brave, for standing up and recognizing the threat that Antifa is to our way of life. By recognizing how advanced they are, how sophisticated their networks are, how they've infiltrated our entire country, and we're seeing them play out with their tactics from city to city, and how they have built out their funding mechanisms. And sir, I also want to thank our Treasury Secretary for his work in getting to the bottom of these funding mechanisms and individuals who are perpetuating this violence on our American cities.
What we are doing at the FBI is simple. It does not require rocket science. We are following the money. Money never lies. And that's what it's going to take to bring down this network of organized criminal thugs, gangbangers, and yes, domestic terrorists, because that's what they are. They are harming everyday citizens in every single one of our communities. And the folks you see here on the right and left, they're some of the bravest men and women we have today. They're reporting the stories live time because the mainstream media won't cover it. They're putting their lives on the line. They're standing up for the flag. The least we can do is stand up for them. So you have my thanks. We, in this FBI, will go after with the criminals with a vengeance. We will not rest until we find every single seed, money, donor, organization, and funding mechanism that we have. And I want to echo the Secretary's comments on Scott Bessent, who's allowing us to map out these networks through their financial criminal activities, which has been going on for decades. And I would like to remind the American public, they built this diseased temple of corruption over decades. And in 8 short months, Mr. President, you have crippled their foundation because of your leadership here.
Antifa feels empowered to operate in the open because weak Democrats have turned a blind eye to their actions. Their hatred for President Trump and for law and order agendas fuels their violence. We've seen more than 1,000% increase in attacks against our ICE agents since January 20th. Secretary Noem is out there fighting for you firsthand to keep our federal officers safe, to keep our federal buildings safe, and we're not going to have it anymore, these thugs. This is not activism, it's anarchy. We can't and we will not let masked terrorists burn our buildings, attack our law enforcement, and intimidate our communities. Under your leadership, President Trump, we're deploying the full might of the federal law enforcement to crack down on Antifa and other domestic terrorist organizations led by Stephen Miller. And Stephen, thank you for everything you're doing. Last week, I issued a memo ordering our federal law enforcement agents, DEA, FBI, U.S. Marshals, and ATF to protect ICE officers from Antifa and other radical left-wing violence.
Joining me now is Sky News contributor Kosha Gator. Kosha, CNN doing the bidding of Antifa there, and it's surprising that they would do that because leftist agitators attacked CNN's own offices during the 2020 riots. They seem to determined to downplay the political violence we are seeing from the left.
We can only surmise they're true believers. Their own buildings were being attacked, and even then they are so true to the cause in the face of very clear and precise, to use the anchor's own words, response and commentary by Stephen Miller. He's like, I just want to be precise. Are you going after black and brown people? It's again, sort of like they just have this very limited barrel of cards or words that they play, and race is one, and skin color is one, and there's a couple others, and they just keep going back to that. They're not able, they need more range. They should broaden the way they interview people.
I mean, you only have to look at Antifa's antics to see how violent, how lawless this group is. And yet you've got CNN saying, oh no, it's hyperbole to describe them as domestic terrorists. It's politically motivated violence. It's pretty much the definition of terrorism.
It is, and there is really this continuum between things that we've seen, way back from the Steve Scalise shooting, Trump twice, the supporter Corey Kempter died, of course, at that shooting. There were 2 other people who were shot and recovered, Charlie Kirk, Justice Kavanaugh, the attempted assassination, and Antifa, and the attacks on ICE. It is all related, and they try to kind of frame it as these are all isolated events and don't patch them together into some sort of pattern. But as you say, it is a pattern. It's becoming more and more clear that it's coming from only one side. The bullets are flying in only one direction, and I think it's going to get harder and harder for them.
And they seize upon some activist research that has been fully debunked as, oh no, this is a both sides issue. In fact, the right wing is worse, but the figures just don't bear that out.